Hey, I'm in my bedroom by the curtains. I'm always going to pick something generic that doesn't identify anything. I finally got my shower in. Um, it is in the evening, but it doesn't fucking matter. So, we went to the funeral home, did all that. Um, she's getting cremated, 10 days after Monday. Um, we saw her. We saw her at the funeral home. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. They're taking really good care of her. And I know it's just a body, but they brushed her hair, and her skin was pink. Somehow they put something on her face that made her skin look alive. It was like this cream. Her skin was pink. Um, she was really cold though. She was cold. Took pictures. Um, my dad said at dinner, my brother's boss provided dinner for us, and at my dad's house. And my dad said, should we get that picture and show it at the memorial? And I understand what he's talking about, because like if you have a funeral and there's a body there, I'm clearly gonna see the body, right? Like it makes sense. Um, I don't know. I told him no. I told him that she wouldn't want that. Um, gave him a. I've been hugging him and haven't taught him yet how to do laundry. Uh, but him and I did talk about the him living alone, him getting things taken care of. I've brought up stuff that's morbid, like if he dies, like I don't even know where his financials are. I have no idea where anything is. Um, he brought up a really good point that if he were to go first, my mom wouldn't have any idea what to do with um, the money, the retirement, investments. She wouldn't even know where to find all that shit. He knows, he controls all. He doesn't. He's in charge of all that. There was no control. It's just a word. Um, might get through this one without crying. It's 8. So it's been, what? Thursday, Friday. Once we hit 7 a.m., 7:30. Tomorrow it's day 3. My boss took me out of work next week. All next week. I don't know. I think once in a while I'll talk about a memory, and we had dinner with him at his house. We stayed for like, I've been with my dad all day. And he broke down a couple of times, not much, but he cried. And he even said he's not leaving the funeral home without seeing her. And he didn't mind me taking pictures. He even wanted them. I sent them to him. So I won't post them on here. I won't. This isn't a gossip channel. This is just me processing. So but today I was able to support him. We talked about her death. We did that video of the walkthrough of how she died. I looked up the death rattle, And apparently that's when the throat stops swallowing, and saliva just collects. Even just I can't even do it. It's just like everything relaxes, and apparently she was still breathing when she had the death rattle, and he unlocked the front door, and then found her dead. She was dead. It's just no returning. But him and I talked about her death. He was having some shittawadas, and I said I thought about it a lot. There wasn't anything. There was zero. We talked about it, and he even said, I feel better. I feel better. I'm glad we talked about it because my aunt. I talked to my aunt today, my 88-year-old aunt today, and making a lot of phone calls recently. And her son, who was in his 60s, said that who's to think that death, her dying, didn't prevent her from something worse happening. And I know my previous video was talking about how she died with her boots on, and so fucking true. And how she would have wanted that. And I always looked at death sucks. It just sucks. It's not fun. I don't want to fucking do it. But when I was younger, this is what I told my aunt too. We were at our church, and there was this old guy who had a disease, and he was not doing well, and he was dying and everything. It was slow. And the church was praying for him, and he was getting worse, and praying for him, and then it occurred to me that who's to say that death isn't mercy? Like, it's only people that see death as mean, as a punishment. And he was healed. He was healed, right? He just didn't heal here. And I believe that there's an afterlife and a heaven, and I have my beliefs in Christianity. And when I was on the phone with my dad and they were doing CPR, all I kept saying is, please Jesus, please Jesus, please Jesus, and meaning keep her here. But he kept telling me, no, it's no. I mean, even if they were to revive her, she was gone for 20 minutes. She would have been on a ventilator, and she'd be brain dead, and she would fucking hate that. She would hate that shit. She'd be so pissed. It was it on my neck, on my lip hair, whatever. But only people see death as mean. And even now, it's still mercy. Even with the shit we're going through, it's still mercy. And looking at it that way works for me. It always has. I mean, we euthanize our animals, right? We don't want them to suffer, yet we put our grandparents through 8 years of chemo. Like, what the fuck is that? How's that? We're selfish. It's for us. I met a guy once that I did therapy with a guy once that was 26. He was 26, and he had a double lung transplant. And after he got through the surgery and came home and recovered, he was on some serious medication. This insurance that he paid for all of his medications for these double lung transplants for the anti-rejection pills. He had so many restrictions. He had so many. He couldn't be around kids that were sick. No animals. Dirt. Fucking can't you shit hands in dirt? You can't get sick. He legit couldn't get sick, or his body would reject because of his immune system. So it was like an immune system suppressant medicine. And it made me wonder if I ever needed a transplant of anything. I don't know if I would do it. I don't know. I feel conflicted. On one hand, I'd want to be around for the people I love, but on the other hand, it's really just a matter of time. It's not a decent way and a longevity way to live. He only lived 2 more years. And I even asked him, like, do you regret it? He said no. He didn't regret it. The surgery, I mean, like, his way of life and how he was functioning and everything. Even though it only got him 2 more years. I don't see the point. And I know I'm not in that situation. I can't say that. But for how I feel and where I'm at right now, I don't see the point. Why not just live your life, make every day worth it, and, clock out when it's your turn. Sorry, it's just a shit bag, Life gave you a shit bag. I'm sorry about that. So, yeah. There was something else I wanted to say. So maybe it was a mercy. And realistically, I can see that. I can. There's no guarantee on why my brother can accept that it's a mercy death as a possibility. But I just have to do the Judah and the Lion song with it is what it is. Because it's really not going to make any difference. It really won't. It is what it is. It wouldn't have happened any other way. I told Dad that her death date was 1/8/25. We just didn't know it. And her birthday was 8/10/52. So it's kind of the other side around, where it's 8/10 and 1/8/25 and 52. Holy shit. So she was a young 73. Whose ticker gave out. But I liked spending time with Dad today. It was good. He seems like he's gonna be making it. And we can have much easier conversations about future planning and what life looks like when he dies. He's much more. He wasn't opposed to it before, but it was harder with Mom being around because it just seemed like it was just like, oh yeah, eventually maybe we'll talk about I remember the video that I made about how she was a helper and she would help to the ends of herself. And she would help me a lot. But that doesn't mean that I pushed her to it. And it also doesn't mean that I didn't encourage her to stop. She had a hip surgery in 2021. No, yes. Yeah, 21. And actually she had to do it twice. She had a bad infection. Her body was rejecting the implant and had to put in another one. And in that process, they found a really bad infection in her body, which Dad thinks that the IV antibiotics weakened her heart as a result. But she was in the hospital for a while, and during 21, nobody can go there. Even my dad had, sometimes he wasn't even permitted to go in. And, she was recovering. She was recovering for a while. And up to that point, she literally did everything for my dad. Literally. She was a housewife who made dinner every night in my childhood. We always ate around the table. In fact, there would be commercials in the 90s about, advocating for family dinners around the table. And it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? And I never understood those commercials. Because all we did was eat around the table. And of course they knew where their children were at 10 o'clock. Like, what? We were in bed. So, with that being said, she would rub his feet and clip his toenails and put his clothes out. She really did do everything for him. When I was little, she really did. Rubbed his back, popped his back. She was his caretaker. And when she got her hip replacement, again and again, twice, she was talking to me and she wanted me to take Dad grocery shopping. I took him grocery shopping. He didn't buy anything. She wanted me to make him buy something. And I said, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Me as a spouse and a wife, I've been married 20 years. And I don't take care of him. I wash clothes. I do the dishes. He makes better dinners than I do. Sometimes he's got even more time than I do to make dinners. Because I'm too busy. And my things are going to sleep. She called me and she said she's worried about him. But anyway, I told her, when you get better, don't go back to that. Don't do it. Do not do that. For the first time in his life, he's learning how to grocery shop. He's taking care of you and him. He's figuring this shit out. And he was 70 years old? Yeah. And he told me today during lunch, he said he lived at his parents' house all through college, graduated college, they got married, and they moved in together. Like, he's never been on his own. So, I've never been on my own either, officially. I did the same thing where I went to college, lived at home, got married, left, and but I know I'll be alright. I will be. Because even though I'm really busy, I do fucking everything. Like, I do the laundry and the dishes, and the grocery shopping and my bills, and it's I don't struggle. My husband doesn't struggle with anything either. Um, yeah, I told her to stop. I don't know how much more she picked up. I know that she enjoys helping, so I'm pretty sure that she could have done something additional or picked something back up. She probably still cooked. But I did not want her to continue to be the sole. Nah, fuck that. Mm-mm. And I think she listened to me. Because realistically, nobody lives forever, and everybody's got to figure something out when the other one goes. God, there was something else I wanted to say. I forgot. Anyway, and I'll probably remember when I'm off the video. So, it's my first video not crying. I think I'm getting better. Today's just a better day. It wasn't about me. It's about him. It's for him. We decided on March 1st for the memorial. That's when we're doing her memorial here where we live. And we're still not sure what we're doing with California. I did tell him I want to send out dirt. And then I pointed out, I was like, who's gonna look? Nobody's gonna fucking open the urn and be like, this isn't her. We'll probably put a little bit of her in there. But now we've got to look for urns. So that's the thing we're going to do now. And talk to the cemetery over in California. I don't want to go out there. I don't. For me, the funeral begins and ends here. So I even think there's a part of Dad that doesn't want to do it either. Nobody's excited to go out there. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I don't know. One of the things that I realized before I got on here is that with death, there's a lot of pressure and, like whens and wheres and hows and whys and, why don't you have any answers and all that shit. And I was putting a lot of pressure on myself with, like, what's going to happen to my dad. Today was a good day. Tomorrow we'll deal with tomorrow when tomorrow happens. And just really taking it a day at a time. I don't know what's going to happen to him. I don't. I know time will tell us what will happen to him. So, I'm glad I live closer to him, though, even though I do have a front row seat to whatever happens. I'm glad I live here. Guess that's about it. So, I feel like I know I could cry more. The person I told yesterday about, today's Friday. The person I told yesterday, my client that I told about my mom dying, that's it. I'm conflicted on what to do about telling my clients about my mom dying. Because, one, I don't want to lose it. I don't want to hurt them with needing to console me. She texted me today out of the blue and goes, "It's okay to do this, and it's okay to feel this," and I know she cares, but it's not her job. And that's why I don't know if I want to tell anybody, because it's a double-edged sword. On one side, you're being real and authentic with them like they are with you, which is what I encourage them to do. And on the other side, they might feel an obligation to not say something or express something, or with the fear of it emotionally possibly triggering me. That's the kind of shit I have to think about. That's the kind of shit that I have to think about with not letting somebody know what I'm going through as a therapist. It's hard. I'm not going to have good days all the time. I'm not going to get through this without crying all the time. And when I said on Thursday that I didn't hurt them, that's what I was talking about. I didn't lose it. I was able to keep myself collected and composed in order for them to process and be able to work through whatever they have to go through. Being a therapist is a cool job, but at the same time, it does suck. You just want my real answer. It can suck. I have a bad joke about being a therapist. I have bad jokes all the time. And I have told some of my clients this joke. I have told them this because they know who I am. They know that it's not a personal. But it very much does and can feel like this, where I told my brother once, my older brother, that being a therapist is like being an emotional toilet. He's like, "How?" I said, "Because people come, they crap all over you, and they leave feeling so much better. And I've got all this shit to deal with." Oh, I have told people that. I have. One of the things as a therapist that I wish I could tell people, and I have told some people in the past, in a nicer way. I have told them in a nicer way this exact statement that goes through my head, especially in couples when they're fighting over fucking dumbest bullshit ever. Dumbest bullshit ever. Like dishes. Shit that irritates, but that gets hyper focused on. Like the shit on the floor that people step on in the kitchen. I hate that. Do I hyper focus on it? No. You know why? I've got other fucking shit to do. And they just get so fucking bored that they take dishes as this monumentous issue. And it's like, I'm fucking here for this. Dishes. Rolling of the eyes. Like, waste of time. Sorry. Yes, I get that. Household chores can be one-sided, can be unequal, can be, and I don't focus on the dishes. When somebody brings up something dumb like that, I focus on what it actually means. I focus on the actual issue, which is underneath the dishes, what the core is. It's like appreciation or feeling overwhelmed or, not even noticed or whatever it looks like. It's never about the fucking dishes. And when they just hyper focus on the surface bullshit, sometimes I just want to tell them what you care about doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, when shit goes down and somebody dies, you're never gonna fucking remember who did the dishes. Fucking choke him. So yeah. Personal frustrations. So, I think I'm gonna go. It's a good video. And, I don't know. Fucking talk later. So, take care of yourself. And, I'll be back. Okay, bye.